Hey traders, Park here with another video on the range indicator I've been working on or still working on. So this is the scan results for today. I have it set at 21 days and I have it looking for a breakup that is true within 3 bars. The other parameters that I'm looking at are stocks between $1 and $50. Volume has to be 1 million, and the stock at least has to be up 5% today. And these are the scan results. This is my volume indicator. Stocks to get an average of I think it was 20. I think it's 2 million volume. Yeah, 2 million. That's why I put 2 million volume. This overall changes is looking over the 5 day, the 3 month, and the 6 month. So yeah, it goes over 5 day, the 5 day, the 21 day, and the three month period, and it just gives you an overall picture of what's going on within the stock. So you can almost look at it as a week, a month, and 3 months. So overall, this is what they're showing right here for the overall change, percent change anyway. This is the volume and this is the RS. My relative strength is not necessarily the RSI. It's usually the average high, the average low, and where the close is in between those two, and it gives you a percentage. And these are pretty high, at least INZY is. So let's go to the charts, and this is one of the ones I've just pulled up. Let's look at it. Where is it? YMAB. It's marked right now after hours is $9.23, so same as the close. It has shares of 43 million shares. It didn't get a whole lot of volume, so that's one of the reasons why I don't particularly like it, because it doesn't have a lot of volume in the day, and it moved the stock pretty far. But the volume is above 2 deviations in the stock. It's in the healthcare. If you look at this, most of the stocks in this list are healthcare stocks. The last one's information, and one is industrial. But most of these healthcare stocks have been really moving lately. Daily change, like I said, the daily change, 27% on the daily is increasing, 71% overall. So let's go back to the charts. And this is what it looks like on the weekly. I marked out these two pink lines right here are gaps. So, and you can see right here, it was below. The minimum is still below the 1 ATR away from. This line represents 1 ATR, average true range from the bottom range bottom. And since the minimum of the candle is still below that, it's going to still have on the target. The targeting system is still going to be there. So the other things I marked out are these highs right here, because you can almost look at it like this. There's almost nothing in the way. There's no other highs or lows in this area. So this stock could possibly go to the 50 and possibly go up to this next high right here, just over a course of a couple of days or whatever. But it had it exploded up from this level. That's one of the things I do like. If you look at this volume bar, the white represents 2 volume deviations, and it's to the buy side, and this yellow represents 2 volume deviations to the downside. And you can just see, even with this pullback, it's just low volume. But the only issue that you're seeing is volume is decreasing as the stock is going up. So it's not a good sign. And this is on a weekly, so it's just covering from these past few weeks. So this week is 327. So let's go look at the daily. We're gonna look at the daily. So this is what is coming from the daily breakout, and you can see it broke out of this range area right here, 713, which was this high right here. So we'll mark that out, and when we go to the did it mark? No, it didn't mark. So when we go to the lower time frame, we have some more reference. But here's that gap area as well. When it was trying to break back in, it got rejected, and it pushed back above the next day. Came back to that same gap area. And this is your 21-day average, simple average. And you can see how it just pushed above. It kind of stayed within this gap area and this 78.6 field for this for the range. And then it finally pushed above today. Let me see. The unbalanced volume is showing really good as well. So what I wanted to get, there we go. So here are some of the targets for this. So this first target, I changed the targeting system too. So the first target is gonna be two times ATR. So it give you 1-to-2 ratio. So like I said, this red line or this stop line right here represents 1 ATR from the range top to this line. This first line now it represents the 2 times ATR. This next one is 5 times ATR, and the one after that one is 8 times, and then 13, and then 21 times ATR. I probably shouldn't push it all the way up to 21, but some of the stocks move like that, especially on the lower time periods. But I pushed it all the way up. If you're unfamiliar with Fibonacci, that's the reason why I chose those numbers. It actually goes from 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, 3 plus 2 is 5, 5 plus 3 is 8, 8 plus 5 is 13, and 13 plus 8 is 21. That was my logic behind it. And the reason why I'm using 21 for my on my daily time period is this: is 253 days that the stock market is open. 25% of that is 63, and it's 4 quarters in a year. So you can look at it like this, and you divide that by 3, and you get 21. So there you go. So that's my logic for using 21-day period on the daily time period. It's not because of Fibonacci. It's just because there's 253 days that the stock market is open. So if we would have gotten into this trade, so at this point, a lot of this don't matter. So what I really need to do is change the scan to anything that's breaking above this red stop line, to be honest with you, to make it to give you a preemptive move, to make you aware of a possible move up that could possibly happen, and put your alert on the daily. So when it moves within 1 ATR of the range top. So that's one of the reasons why I haven't released the indicator, because I wanted to give a full video on how to actually use the indicator. But this one actually shows the actual breaks. So that's one of the reasons I haven't released it, and I'm still, making sure everything's working, everything's correct, especially with the math that goes into these labels. But for the most part, this is just one stock. So I'm thinking about it, and it, like I said, it could possibly go. Let me fix this. Could possibly go back to these areas, these old highs right here. So you have your breakout. Here's your gap area as well. These 2 pink lines represents that gap. So on the daily, you could have another resistance at this candle high, but it looks good. And what else I want to look at? The news behind it. There appears raise price target 21. So there's the news behind. So it has some news while it's moving, but it just didn't get a lot of volume. It's average. Did I change this? So this is the weekly volume. So this is the average on the daily. So we got it set for 21. Today only did 1,733,000. So its average volume is only for a 21-day period is 428,915. So that's pretty good. So I will keep this one on my watch for tomorrow, and I am going to look for a pullback. And I always mark out my whole numbers in half dollar areas. So that'll be $9. Duplicate, and I will push this one up to 10. If my mouse cooperates, so push that to 10 and mark out the half dollar one. And duplicate, mark this one to the 1050, and I'll do 11 as well. And duplicate one more time, and we'll do 8. I'll do 852. And I will look at it on a daily time frame. So let's go look at it on daily time frame. So you can see how I hit those whole dollars and half dollar numbers, and it held. It pushed up through 8, came back and found support, or pulled back to the 850. And here's that pink line that we drew on the daily for the gap. This orange dots is just VWAP. And you can see how I just pushed above, pushed up into 9, came up to 950, pulled back, came back to 850, pushed back up. And today's high was $9.71 on this label. After hours, it's not doing anything. It just came back to the 9. So that's what we're looking at on this stock. And I don't have this is back to the weekly. So this is what it looks like on the 4-hour. And these are the ATR levels. So, but these ATR levels are pushing from this range top. So these profits would be your potential profits. That's why I say I really need to change the scan to anything that's breaking above this this line right here. So that's what I'm actually going to do, is find what did I call those? So the stops. Okay. So let's go back to the scanner. Let's go back here, and I need to change this whole entire thing to close, crossing above, study, range. I apologize for this as well. I should have thought about that before I started the video. And ATR stop up, and change this to 21, and we're looking for a break within 3 bars. So and save scan. So price channel cross up 21 day. Probably, yep, I'm good with that. So it's not actually going to show me anything that actually is broken out. So I'm fine with that. But I could do this. So I could add a condition, and I can put the study back on there. Channel range and breakup. Change this to 21, and is true. I'll do 3 bars as well. So it doesn't like that. Complexity of the spreadsheet may not be reliable. So it's not going to let me add the other one. So we'll just say anything within that area there, which kind of sucks. I wish I could add both of them. But these are the breakouts. So let's go back to the scanner. So this is the original scan. This one right here. This is the one we're on right now. I go to the other one. Price channel breakout, 21 day, 5%, within 3 bars, and $1 to $50. So I go to the other one after we go through a few of these. So right now, let's sort it. So I had it sorted by shares, because I'm looking for a share turnover. So this one has 21 million shares. It turnover. Not a high turnover because it only did 7 million volume. But we'll go look at it and see what it looks like. This is what it looks like on a 4 hour. This is what it looks like on a daily. So this is a nice breakout. Has good volume and unbalanced volume. This study down here looks good. On the weekly, it's still stuck here. Still stuck within this range. So we'll mark that one out. It broke out of this one right here. And I'll put that. So possibly next one. On the weekly, $4.58. Right now it's sitting at $3.88. Bid ask. It closed at $4. So possible push up to $4.50. Let's push out some of these and that one. So this is what it looks like on a 5-minute chart. So it probably pulled back to 368 and maybe give you another push up to 457. So if you want to look at that one to see. But all it did today was just really just range. So you look for a breakout above that. Daily, that's a breakout. So we would go back to the scanner. This one looks like it has a good turnover on it. Let's see. On a daily, this is what's called, this candle right here, when you see something like this, called a hanging man. If you're unfamiliar with Japanese candlesticks, this is what's called a hanging man. It's not a good idea or a good sign. So depending on the news, so let's start with what happened top real. After the company announced special one-time cash dividend of $1 per share. $1 per share of common stock. I don't like it. I don't like it. So we're not going to entertain that one anymore. INZY. So this one's pretty much in an uptrend. So I like that this one's up in an uptrend. You can see it from there. Even if I just drew this line to here, you can see it connecting 1, 2, 3. So you got 3 points connection, and you had a breakout back here, which looks really nice right here. So this was your first attempt to break out. So these are, you can consider those attempts. But for the most part, this was your official breakout right here. And you can see it hit went up to 2 times ATR, paused for a moment, pushed above to 5 times ATR, up to 8 times. Well, it didn't make it to 8 times ATR. But consolidated for a moment, found this other range from this low right here and this high. So from the move low to the move high. And now it's breaking out again. And this one I kind of like. Even though it seems like it's getting rejected, or this wick is being rejected a little bit. But for the most part, it looks good to me. So I would look for a pullback possibly to here or to here. So 7 out of 2 times ATR right now is sitting at 749, and then so on and so forth. So this is what it looks like on a weekly. And it's hitting right here at the 78.6 fib and 1 times ATR. So we'll see, but for the most part, it's coming from the bottom. It's coming from its extreme bottom. It's almost a V bottom. You want to look at it like that, because you take this point down here to here. So you're looking for a breakout, and this one looks good. It's a pharmaceutical company. Should I do that? I'm thinking about putting a fib ratio on it, but let's go back to the day. So it's been in this long up downtrend. So it kind of sort of started this downtrend in 21, where it's just been trending down and it's finally breaking up. And you can look right here with the unbalanced volume. That's really pushing up, and it's not losing anything. It's not giving anything back. The unbalanced volume is staying pretty much flat, but breaking out again over here. So I like what I see on this one. So what I'm gonna do is go on. It doesn't have a lot of volume though. So the volume right now, average volume. No, let me go right here, day. So its average volume is 582,000. Today it did 1,077,000. It might have some liquidity issues. Let's do this. I look forward to, hopefully it gets some attention. So I'm gonna put my alert at 675. So 6.75. So it was above that tomorrow. And if it comes down to, because it's really already at 650. So if it comes back down to I'm gonna say 630. I'll watch it a little bit. But I like what I see on the daily. I mean, a daily chart. And the weekly kind of shows you like a V bottom. It looks good. Did I already look at the news? Press release, beats. Better inspect the Q1. Okay, cool. So that's the news. That's what I'm looking at on this one. So we'll go to the next one. Share value. Let's take a difference. Let's go differently. So I think I already looked at. Did I already look at this one? CLR. Yeah, that's our hanging man. So we're not looking at that one. The reason why I switched it up, how I'm looking at it. When I first started out trading, they told me to look for stocks that at least had changed 10% on the day. Bigger investors would look for stocks that are at least up 10% on a day. So LGVN, I looked at this one. I think I already marked all my stuff out. And look at the unbalanced volume. It's just flat across all of this. So here's our breakout. On the week it's still stuck in that, but could break out. I think I already did this. Yeah, I apologize. So information HLIT. It has over. Had a lot of shares compared to the volume for the day. It pushed above nicely. I looked at this one a while back. Yeah, I looked at this one. Harmonic Inc. Yeah, I looked at this one a while back. So this is where we are on a weekly. It's been pretty much in an uptrend. It has some pullbacks, but it's uptrending. So we would just connect these lows. For the most part, you can see it's in an uptrend. So not a lot of volume on today, but it still had a breakout, which broke out on low volume. I don't like that, but it's a high price stock than the other ones we looked at. And do I see any low volume breakouts? No. Yeah, here's a low volume breakout. I didn't want to clutter up the screen, so that's one of the reasons why the signals indicator is not on there. Signals only. What am I? I'm on a weekly, so 13. And what are we looking at? You got this blue dot, so it's increased volume on the push up, push back. I'm not gonna be looking at the ATR one. I want to look at the close to close. So we got a warning signal. So this is a big range on low volume. That's the only thing that I'm kind of hesitant about. And if you look at that, the Fibonacci stuff I just put, it lines up perfectly with my midpoint. So let's go to the daily. So I push my range all the way back from there to here. Attempt to break out. And push this one to 21. Volume close to close. Good. There's your little buying deviation right there. Inside bar, big volume, low range. This looks good on the daily. How far out? I got this on 5 years. So this one looks good. What I would do is this. It closed out. You can get 45 cents on a 21-day average. It moved today $2.70. Possible pullback to the range top, so at or below, and a possible retesting of this high. To send me an alert. So if it's above yesterday's high, it'll shoot me an alert. Or if it cross back below the range top. So we'll see. And this is still low volume, but it can still move. So here's our daily. This is good volume. It's not as good as these volume right here, volume in above 2 deviations, but it's above average volume on the break above. So that's something I do like. The overall trend is kind of flat. You can say it was flat for this range. It broke down below, pushed back above, and let's go see for the weekly. It's already had a breakout. It broke out this week. So overall trend on a weekly, same. Range on a weekly. This high back here and this high. So those broke the breakouts. And what do we get? We still got a low volume breakout though. So on a weekly, high volume breakout on a daily. So possibly looking for a 24.97 was our next weekly high. So 24.97 is the next weekly high. So it could push to there. So that looks good. I'm gonna look for it to be above its high today, and you may be able to squeeze $2 out of it, or more. So, I think we already looked at the daily. This is what the daily chart looks like. Remember, this pink line is VWAP, and here is our daily high. This is the previous day high, or previous month's high. So it broke above a previous month's high. So that's also good. So we will go back to the daily chart or weekly chart. Back to the scanner. This one on the weekly is still inside this range. So I'm going to mark out these levels now. Broke above that high. Broke above this consolidation area. And we will go back to the daily. This is what we look at on the daily. Broke above. So next one, 1539. So I will look for it. Looked like it pulled all the way back. Did it pull all the way back? No. So I'm going to put an alert at 1475 or a pull back to 13 and see if we could get another push out of it. See, another one. Breakout. I don't like this candle. It's called, it could be considered a shooting star candle. So we'll mark that out. I really like marking out the weekly stuff versus the daily. It's at this lower part of the range, so I'm not even going to consider this one until it gets above 916. So I'm going to leave this one alone. Yeah, I'm just going to leave that one alone. I didn't like where it was, and this one, yeah, I already looked at this one. Oops. SANA. Healthcare. This one looks nice, especially on the weekly. It has good volume. It's at this, at the end of a downtrend. It could be a changing trend. So I like this one. I'll mark out this as well. I like this. Here's your engulfing candle. This is a bullish engulfing candle. That's what this green. This is another version of the signals indicator without a lot of the jazz and stuff that's there in the original one. So we have an exhaustion candle or exhaustion range. So from this close to that close is not very not above. It's above average, but the volume is below average. So that's why I say it could be an exhaustion move. But I like the way this stock looks, especially over the weekly. So I possibly get that break above 657. So what I'm going to do is do this. I'm going to set an alert here for my weekly. Normally I would type out stuff to remind myself why I set these alerts. But this is still a new indicator. I'm still working out a lot of the bugs with it and how to use it. Market that as support. But this one looks good on a daily. It's above average. The unbalanced volume is showing you that, hey, all this movement and stuff has been good. But there's not been any significant selling in the stock once it made this big move above here on this from 3 to this range. So that's nice. You see all this consolidation at the bottom of this range. And all this consolidation at the top of the 78.6 field until it broke down. Here's your break above. I like this stock. News, center buy. So I don't see any current news, but from the 8th, it has some news. And it's an earnings beat. So I like this stock. I'm looking for either a push above or a pullback to $6. And yeah, because I can watch it with pull back to 583 as well. So I like this one. And BSY. Oops. Average volume is 775,000, 2 million. It did 2 million volume today. It's breaking out of this big range right here, from this high to here, and it's basically just been consolidation within this range. And you can almost look at it like this. It started an uptrend in here. If you just draw the line, you can see how all those lows hit the trend line. So almost an ascending triangle breakout. So let's go to the weekly. And we can almost do the same thing, ascending triangle breakout. And I'm going to mark out this consolidation, where those highs were. Breakout here. So I'm looking for a breakout above this field level in this range. And a possibility of coming back here. And let's say from here, I really don't like this, using this low, but for the most part, let's go back to the daily. It's not going to shrink for me. So it broke above. So possibly $50 if it continues on. It has above volume. I mean, two times deviation volume here. So I like that. So unbalanced volume is showing good. So I like it. And it's up 10% today. And the news. Okay, good. It beat. So it's an earnings play. So hopefully it continues on. Get some more steam out of this one. SPPI. This would be considered a high wave candle on the daily. Even though it has good volume, it's not as much as this. Not as much as it is right here. This doesn't look good at all. But the stock kept pushing up. And you can see with this indicator, it's showing you the tweezer tops. That's what these TT mean, tweezer tops. TB is tweezer bottom. And this is showing you equal bottoms down here and equal tops. So this is something with the signals. The DCC stands for dark cloud cover. And where's one of those other ones? The blue ones. Piercing cloud. PCL's piercing cloud. So if you were wondering about those other clouds that are in there, here's another tweezer top, and then you got a pullback, tweezer bottom. let's go further out to the it's a weekly breakout too. Has good volume, but you can see those blue squares are it's facing some type of resistance. That's why it's called the high pressure range, because there's above average range, there's above average volume, but the range is below average. So there's a diversion between the movement in the stock and the amount of volume that's pushing it. And volume is the power, just like you press on the gas pedal. It's being throttled. It's not going anywhere fast. So, but you can almost look at like this: flagpole, flagging, breakout, maybe start another flag pattern. So I'm going to look at it like this, and here's our next high. So possibly from 113 to 158. I didn't realize this was a penny stock. I was just looking at it, but for the most part, you can look at it like that, and we can go back to our daily chart, and we can find those points of resistance, support, resistance. But it's like a high wave candle. I don't like that high wave candle. This is what it did on a 5-minute chart, and that's going to be the last one we're going to look at on this one. I'm going to go back to that new one I created. Price. Be nice if I remember. Here we go. Here's the cross-up scan. So let's see. Look at the cross-up scan. So these are within 1 times ATR. So it's the range between the range top and 1 times ATR below. So these are either sitting at or they've already crossed above. Palantir is one of the ones that I wished I had stayed. I was in Palantir like $7. I sold it when it dropped back down below before earnings. I wish I had them now. Let's go to here. So I think I was in around 740 something. I had been in for a while. I said I was just gonna hold Palantir for a while, but I decided to sell it when I was looking at it, going right back to the area where I bought it. So that's why you're seeing a lot of my lines are already on here. And Palantir, it hasn't broken out on the weekly yet, but you can see how it just was consolidating here and coming back to the same point right here, the same support area. Well, you see all these lows in the same support area, so it created another range within this larger range, and you can see how it consolidated in here, but it's breaking out now. It tried back here with this high wick right here, but it couldn't do anything. But the body of the candle actually broke above where this area. So Palantir looks good, but it's breaking above this 1 ATR line. That's what I meant by the range top. So it's in between the range top and the and 1 times ATR on the daily. But that was on the weekly point of view. Here's our daily, and it's supposedly crossed above, but that's why I said something still done working out with the scanner and the indicator as well. So let me see something. So that'll be the premium version, and this is the regular version. So let's see. This is the one that's in the scanner, because you can't use the premium version in the scanner just because it's too complex, because all the other stuff just add into it. So whenever this one's ready, I give a scanning version and the premium version. This can't be 1 times ATR. So okay, so I fixed the problem. These are actual stocks that actually crossed above. Volume and shares. So I'm going to go by percent change. So TCRX. Oops, I should have just pressed it. And it is a shooting star. I don't like this. I don't like shooting stars because it seems like it just, it's basically just like a firework. So it's shot up and that's in. That's a wrap. And you can see in the after hours, it came back down to where it is now. So it's that 341. So that's the range top. So it came right back to this area. What I will do is put a 50 break, and let me get rid of that and put the premium version back on. And it did not switch. There we go. The pretty version instead of the old version. But for the most part, I don't like the shooting star. It just broke, just fired up, and that may be it for this stock. It may just come right back down below. So I don't particularly like that. And the close below the half of the candle. So I just keep it on watch, but for the most part, I'm not interested in this one, so I'm not gonna do any more analysis on it. This one has 23. It did 55 million in volume. I already looked at that one. Invax, I saw this one today, but I don't remember what it exactly was. Same picture, shooting star. Couldn't stay above this range high. So we'll just go look at it because the volume, it had nice volume, and this all it did. But after hours, just staying around the same range high. So what I would do is just look at it. Give me an alert above $10. This was the previous high. So, and that's pretty much it. This is the weekly. You can almost look at this. I want to say high wave, but it's not necessarily a high wave candle. But it just came back up to these previous highs back here. And it couldn't really break above. The body of the candle didn't break above. So I'm looking for a break above $10. Body break above $10. To be honest with you. VYGR $10, 43 million. It's not a high turnover rate when you compare the shares to volume, but we'll look at it. On the weekly, I looked at this stock before. Verge Therapeutics. So none of those lines matter. Let's zoom back into it. Really can't get above here. Really can't get above $10. It came back this consolidation, so this another range. It's within 1 times ATR in the range top. On the weekly, this is what it did today. Previous day high, close, day high. So it's hanging around. So it's at 10. I'll do alert at $11. This is what it looks like on a daily. It broke out. So yeah, broke out between the small range here. So see, I haven't broken above this range. I'm gonna mark it out, but we'll see tomorrow. I like this candle on a day. Explosive amount of volume, above 2 deviations. So that one looks good. LGBN, we looked at that one. Looked at this one, I believe. Yeah, I put that. Yeah, looked at that one. I think I looked at this one too. Just check it out. Yeah, I looked at this one. Got the alerts on it. blue. So I looked at this one before. Move all my drawings. This is nice. It's above average volume on the daily. It's breaking out of this from this range high back here and this range low. So use this low, the lower to move and the high this move. So that looks nice. So really, like I said, doing my stuff on a weekly chart versus the daily chart. It broke down below, and it's gonna have face some resistance here. After it breaks above. Right now, it's giving you this warning sign, but the week isn't over, so it could still push more volume into it. It looks nice. So I like what I see on the daily, but we will see if it can break back into the range. It's 512. So this is what it looks like on the daily. It looks like it had this explosive move. It actually did on the daily break. It came back to the bottom of the range. Like I said, it could be facing some resistance, and that's exactly what it did. It faced resistance at the bottom of that range. Nice unbalanced volume for the day, and it's holding the volume. So that's a good sign right there, but I'm going to look for it to be back above 512. Give me a preemptive alert at $5. So to look at 512 and see if it actually breaks above here with good volume. So like I said before, it looks good on the daily, the volume, even though it's wick right there. But we'll see. ASRT is above 11, and it's a healthcare stock too. Like I said before, all these healthcare stocks are ones that are really breaking out. I've looked at this one before. Let's get rid of I looked at it a long time ago. I remember using those. So it's a high wave candle on the daily. The weekly, it's in a weekly uptrend, so that's nice. All I wanted to do is draw the line, but yeah, for the most part, uptrend on the daily from this major downtrend over 5 years. So you can see the consolidation here. Put that there. So possibly pullback areas. If it doesn't make it, this is where I would pull my support resistance indicator out, because I can't see that far back to see where they next area resistance is. So I want to use 50 or 25. I'll leave it and see what it shows. So those are those resistance areas. So yeah, it's in that resistance area. So the next resistance area that it's showing is this green that we're broke down from. So it can go from 6 up to 14. Not a lot of resistance in this area on a weekly, but we can go back to the daily. And what do we see? Yep. Let me see. And that's 21. I'll leave it at 50. similar resistance areas. So yeah. I'm gonna say let's see if it can break above $7. See, I want to say I already looked at this one. Maybe not. Shooting star. Yep, I'm not looking at that. Looked it down, looked it down, looked it down. And that's pretty much it. I hope that this video has helped you, and I hope that you listen to my ramblings, helped out as well. I apologize about the video being this long. I just wanted to take you through some of my technical analysis and how to use the indicator. I made some mishaps in the video, so I apologize for those. I hope you can be forgiven for those. But I hope that you look at some of these stocks and just look for future videos for me doing these breakouts and some of the technical analysis that I follow that I use for the most part. And I wish, and don't take this as any advice for you to buy or sell any of these stocks, but just look at them and just look at this as another way of being educational and somewhat informative about different ways to look at different stocks and different views of different people. So, for the most part, this is the end of the video. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. And I appreciate you taking the time out to listen to what I have to say. God bless.